live.
Holy shit, guys, we're live. How are you?
Great. Good.
Pretty good.
Traffic could always be easier, but you know.
Yes, I agree with you there. So on my commute home, it used to be through all these back roads, right? So like it's 2-lane roads the whole way. It's quiet. It's farmlands and horses and whatever. And some jackass decided all these at the same time. We need to make all of these roads into like 12-lane roads with fucking weird bridges, and we're gonna something straight out of Blade Runner. And so now my commute is unpleasant too. Thanks for popping open that cork.
Hey, I mean, isn't it Florida? I'm pretty sure Florida is like always under road construction. I think that's just like that's like a conspiracy. I'm 100% on that. Like
Yes.
Florida, especially North Florida, is always under road construction. Doesn't matter.
That is absolutely true. All right, so let's go around the horn before I start running my mouth. James, how are you, man? You said it finally started raining as the apocalypse. Has it arrived?
Yeah, it opened up here. I'm doing great though.
Awesome. Hopefully that doesn't cause this tree to fall on my house, because that would cut our stream short, I think. Awesome. Eric, what about you, man? How are you doing?
Doing good.
Awesome. Did you change some shit behind you again? No, you have an Amazon box there now. Okay.
Always.
Yeah. No, it's just that, yeah, God, I'm going to get you like a fucking picture thing to put behind you so it's always the same. My OCD will be better. John, what's up?
Not much. Busy week at work, but ready for some shovel action tonight. That's for sure.
Shovel action.
Yeah. I got a nice rum and coke here, so I'm all set.
Nice. I got a bottle of wine I'm going to polish off before we get started. It'll be great. Oswald, how are you, man? How's Rivers doing? Other than the commute.
Well, Oswald, he's seen some better days, but Rivers, he's doing all right. He can't complain. Other than traffic, you know, as I've stated twice now, I can't get over that. That's definitely a far cry from what I'm used to. You know, I'm used to Alabama, and sure, I lived in other places, but it's particularly rough here.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's the bane of my existence on a daily basis.
Ugh. You need to get one of those one-wheel things and just haul ass through the weave on through. Yeah. Mr. Powers, how are you doing, man?
Doing pretty well. Getting ready to start my new project. Start next Monday. So this is going to be my last session probably for a little bit, depending on when we play again. But I'm going to be in crunch mode starting Monday. So. Yep.
That's exciting. We will schedule around it because we will. The show cannot go on without the new and improved, murderous Bartleby.
Who have I murdered? Come on.
Well, I mean, it's about what's going on in his head, you know. Awesome. So I got a few announcements. So we have, you see it for those of you on the stream, we have received our t-shirts. So we'll be using these as giveaways for those of you supporting our efforts here on Twitch and YouTube. And they'll also be available out on Patreon shortly. You can use American dollars or really any kind of dollars to purchase those, which is pretty cool. They're really soft, and if nothing else, you know, they make, you could probably use them as good kindling. So that's good. So we're going to be posting some other stuff on the Patreon as well. Some things like the combat tracker that we've featured on the Rules Bites episode around combat. So I've sent that out to some of you guys already via email, but you'll be able to pick it up if you support us on Patreon. Also, shout out to Cosmic Cohen, one of our YouTube viewers. He's been a frequent commenter actually on our Rules Bites series, and he and his friends have just been kind of watching the Rules Bites stuff and have just kicked off their own campaign in the old world. So thought that would be pretty cool to give them some props and thank them for their support. And lastly, I'd like you guys to all sort of just salute all of the Daves. So of the last like 12 people that have followed the YouTube channel, they're all fucking named David or Dave or Davey or something. It's like they're just hoarding. It's really cool. So I woke up this morning, I was scrolling through, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of Daves. So Daves from all over the world are following us. Make it a lot easier to give shout outs if all of you just go ahead and switch your name to Dave.
One fell swoop. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. But yeah, no, seriously, thanks for following us. It's been a good time, and we're picking up momentum. So hope to see that continue to grow. You guys ready to play some Warhammer?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Always. I'm always ready to play some Warhammer. I've been playing a lot of Moortime actually recently.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. So I don't know if you know anything about Moortime, but it's like basically it's a squad based like campaign setting game. It's lovely. I love it. It's basically like everything dies and everything's horrible, but that's Warhammer. So
yeah. Speaking of everything dying, so I'm going to ask one of you to tell me. So in your character's point of view, who wants to volunteer and tell me what kind of mess are you in right now, as we return to the old world?
Ahead of us, I saw a young woman being attacked by some little creatures, and she was in real bad shape. So I just charged up there and am in the process of booting them away from her.
Yeah, so for those just joining us, we are picking up right at the beginning of combat. So I'm going to ask you guys to just kind of get in that mindset. Take a couple of seconds. I have some stirring music that is going to make it feel just like Warcraft. All right. So
I adjusted my background just for you.
Yeah, Corben's at sea now.
What the fuck? Change it back, you bastard. Have it just keep switching. Have it just keep switching back and forth. Okay, you guys ready?
Let's do it.
That's gonna drive me fucking crazy because it's really loud in my ears. So we're not gonna do that. We're gonna use this instead.
It was kind of really loud when you first turned it on too.
Was it?
Yes, just like that.
Dick. Okay. All right, here we go. So when last we saw our characters, you were walking up this road headed northward toward the catacombs. There is one place in particular that you're kind of interested in checking out after having discovered clues, sort of drawings in the back of a wagon. You are in possession of a bag. Who has the bag? I think it was Oswald, was it not? The bag of pottery parts?
There's two of them, actually.
There's two of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oswald has one, and I think
Bartleby is the other one.
Yeah.
Who has the broken bits? Because some were intact pottery and some were more broken.
I think I took the intact ones.
Got it. Because just remember, Nana's always right. So after leaving the scene of the wagon, you kind of move northward along that same road. Again, your footfalls as they sink into the sort of moist earth are filled in by these hair-like little mushrooms. Quickly, all too quickly, right? As you kind of move along. And on either side of you as well, the underbrush is largely kind of choked by this sort of fungal growth. But up ahead, in fact, as James pointed out, you saw a woman. The blue screen of death, and I'm convinced it was my choice of music that pushed us over. John, can you confirm that we are in fact back online before we have another blue screen?
There was much rejoicing.
Yes, there was much rejoicing. I apologize to those of you who were tuning in. And
those copyright claims on music are harsh and fast.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. All right, so just to rewind, you were approaching a small rocky outcropping against which what appeared to be a woman who was horrifically injured. She's surrounded by these tiny, sort of snot-colored, leathery-skinned creatures. They're not common in terms of their makeup. Their bodies differ greatly from one to the next. One will have kind of a horn out the side of their head, and the other one has a forehead, maybe just the Darth Maul, little tiny horns all over. But what they seem to be doing is eating and picking at her flesh as she sort of, kind of is trapped there and surrounded. When we last gathered, as I recall, Geschwind was running headlong into the scene and had just screamed what, Geschwind?
Corben, shovel.
Corben had launched a shovel and rolled to successfully do so. So you have just caught the shovel, Geschwind, and you and Grimwald are running toward the scene that you see on the map. So we will start in initiative order with Grimwald, and of course, Geschwind, you'll be right there. Now, charging into combat as you are, you actually gain +1 advantage when you remember that when you engage. Who's up first? I'm going to say it's Grimwald, right? Is that right? Yeah. So you're charging in. You pull out your sword, or do you just run in and start? I think you said soccer kick, right?
The sword's out, and the first one's getting a boot.
Okay.
Going for distance.
Got it. So we're gonna. Where are you? Make sure you guys can move your people on the map, just so I've got that mapped out. Okay, good. So I'm going to move you where this encounter sort of technically begins, right about here. Geschwind there with you. Before we get into the meat of things, what is Corben, you've just sort of launched this shovel. What is Bartleby doing?
Bartleby's carrying the sack of urns, and he's being really careful not to break them. So he's going at a slower pace, moving up, sort of looking to see what he can see.
Got it. Okay. Well, you see your friends kind of charging up, like they're gonna, being chivalrous, gonna go save what's left of this woman. What about you, Oswald? What are you doing?
So Oswald is currently dealing with the fact that he is on low wounds. This isn't like something that he's haggard by the experiences he's been gone through here recently. But I think that kind of that fearlessness stroke is still kind of within him. So I think he's maybe looking for a place he can put the bag down for a little bit, because I do have the broken shards. It should be okay if I put them down for a little bit. I think he's charging in to help. He's offering assistance to the rest of the guys. So it may be like a turn or two of me moving.
Got it. So you're sort of back in the back. You unshoulder the bag of goods. We're gonna go with something a little less in my face with music. Just hope you guys don't mind. It's better. So you drop these things. They kind of with a slight clunk, but remember those things were broken anyway. You're probably not going to make it that much worse. Corben, what are you doing? So you launch the shovel. You see it land in Geschwind's hand, and he goes running forward, almost like in a relay race. What are you going to do back there?
I'm going to follow them, but I know I have no hope of keeping up.
So you just kind of scamper in behind them. Are you going to look at the bag? Thank you, man. In case we forget where you left the bag. That's fucking awesome. It's like Santa Claus's bag, too. That's fantastic. So you're going to just kind of bring up the rear, I guess, right?
I'm going to kind of bring up the rear, and I have a sling, so maybe I can help from a distance. So I'll be trying to dig that out as I scamper.
Fair enough. We'll get to test drive the shooting into melee rules. That's always fun. Grimwald, so you go running up, and you said that your first action was going to be sort of soccer kick. So you approach that one. That will make you engaged with that one. Give me that brawling roll as you soccer kick. Now, the key is each... Jesus. Okay. All right, everyone out on the internet. It's going to be another one of those kind of days with Hacker, James, and Grimwald. Each one of these squares is occupied by one or more of these little things, right? So it's not just one, I think I said there's somewhere around 40. So they're kind of swarming around. You come running in and just sidekick, and tell me, what does that look like when you come in and just they don't even really see you coming, because it seems like they're more focused on getting up to where the meal is. You come running in, and what does that look like?
It's just a huge swing of a kick, and 2 or 3 of those things are airborne now. Yeah,
you hear this as you kick them. Now, the interesting thing is you kick the side of one and it launches him into the other, but you kick this sort of pustule and it just bursts, and this sort of leakage, spatters everywhere. It's all over your boot. But for the moment, you have actually cleared this grouping. They will reform, though. You've not killed any of them, so they kind of get knocked off to the side, and you go headlong, ending your turn. Who's next? Geschwind. So you're pretty much right there behind Grimwald, and you see this play out. What do you do?
I'm gonna run up to, I guess, the next batch, and with my shovel, just pretty much like golf swing it, just trying to knock him out.
Okay. So you make your move and kind of come running in, and is it a battle cry? Like how does that play out? Are you just kind of focused and quiet?
It tries to be a battle cry, but honestly, I'm still pretty scared shitless here. So it comes out a little more effeminate than I want, but hey, I'm trying to save a damsel in distress. I do what I can here.
You make that roll. Let's see just how effeminate that squeak is.
Oh boy. Is that a cool roll?
No. It's just an attack roll. It's fine.
Okay. What do you want for a shovel?
Do you not equip your shovel?
I would do a basic weapon.
Yeah, just do melee basic. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And I get plus 1.
So you have +1 advantage. So that's +10.
Okay.
And they are not engaged with you. They are aware that you're there, however, so they are actually going to oppose you. Jesus Christ! I don't even know. I give up. I don't even like this game anymore. Hang on a second. When we had our blue screen, my bad guy got closed. The puzzling, as it were.
Little Nurglings, yay! The most jovial yet creepy of Nurgles, little creatures.
It's like little size noodles. All right, so he's going to oppose your roll again. So just to explain for those of you on the stream, so you don't hate on me, I actually validated this with the Cubicle 7 people. So if the GM can justify that there's really no way that the bad guy knows that the attacker's there, you can ignore the idea of opposing the roll, right? It's the idea of surprise. But in this case, because of what just happened behind them, they've become aware. So they're kind of spinning around. And let's see how that plays out. Wow.
I think somebody's been messing with the API.
Yeah. All critical successes so far.
Geschwind has the higher success level still, though.
That's absolutely right. So success level of +3. So I hate you still, Geschwind, very much. I swear you guys have tampered with the die roller. So you kind of come in, and these things sort of turn, and one of them actually jumps up in the air, and with that golf swing, you just send it spinning through the air, and with a backswing. Let me see what would a damage on a shovel be? You guys think? Going to be success level plus strength bonus, probably.
I mean, it depends on what kind of shovel it is, but if it's a flathead spade, I'd say an axe, because I mean that's basically what it was in World War One.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dagger is strength bonus +2. Rapier is +4.
What's an axe?
+3.
Yeah, that's fine. The shovel's fantastic.
Hand axe is +4.
Oh, never mind. Let's do
+4.
I mean,
So that
shovels
were 7.
pretty devastating as weapons. I mean, hell.
Yeah, blunt trauma.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it's not just blunt; it's also like sharp. If it's like,
fair.
Sharp.
Yeah. So you hit the one, whoosh, and knock it across the road, and it just sort of goes tumbling through into this into the fungus forest, which, as you recall, when those are disturbed, they also burst and sort of pus and God only knows what else flies everywhere. And on the backswing, you actually come through and cut another one's head off, and it's almost as if these things have no bone. You hit it, and it's like hitting this kind of rubbery wad of snot, and it just this pus-like stuff begins to leak out of it, and it squeaks and rolls off to the side. As to whether or not it's dead, you're not sure. Who is up next? I do believe that's Oswald, is it not? Yes. Oswald, what are you doing?
That's me. So Oswald is going to. Let's see, I don't have a ranged weapon right now, but I do have. I need to get a bow somehow.
I picture you digging through your shit like, I don't have a...
Yeah, I think Oswald's just taking this axe, and he's going to move his movement. I think it's that. Let's see. I think it's a little bit more than that, actually.
Yeah, they'll just like your walk, right?
I think so. I'll be moving in.
You're going to use your move, is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm moving. That's my whole turn.
Okay. So go ahead and move you to where you go based on your move. So as you see Oswald kind of charge in. That's a cough. Is everybody all right? Damn.
Are you in one of the affected states?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, one of my household has, the Nurgle's rock.
Oh, that's not good. Bartleby, what are you doing? So you see Oswald kind of start to charge in, moving up there. You do the same?
Yeah, Bartleby will stop and place the other bag on top of or next to the bag that Oswald dropped and make his way up.
Awesome. So you put down Nana's pottery, as it were, right there next to the other bag. Corben, they're leaving you behind, and you're surrounded by all this. It's distant and kind of chaotic as it is up there. What do you do as you see them start to charge in?
I try to, keep up as best I can, but I know I can't match their speed.
Yeah. So you're going to do a full run. I mean, if you're doing a full run, you have quite a distance, actually, right?
Yeah, I gotta remember. How does that work?
So
oh,
it's like
because I can move.
Yeah, and I think
so. Each square is a unit in this, or
5?
5?
Yes.
Oh, so I can still only go like 2.1 squares.
Let me just do this for the sake of argument. Because when this began, you were within sight, so I'm going to start you there. So you can move your 2.5 from there.
Okay.
And
2.1.
2.1, yeah. Good luck, good luck with that with the snapping features in Roll20. Okay, yes. So as you move up, so are you gonna try a ranged attack? What are you thinking?
Can I see past the guys clearly enough to do that? Because they're bigger than I am.
They are, but they're not necessarily obstructing you. You can certainly see the chaos. And again, these things are not really just standing still, right? They're leaping over each other and they're kind of swirling around. They'll take a bite of meat and they're just kind of laughing and high-fiving or whatever. Pustling.
So I could try to take a shot at something to the right side of the whole group, right?
You certainly could try that.
Let's try that.
What's your range?
60. Is that going to be far enough?
Yeah, it should.
Right. Yeah, looks like it.
Let's have a roll. What's a difficulty?
Group is easy.
Yep, it should be. Yeah.
What's easy?
Yeah, if
plus
it's 13
20.
plus targets, it's very easy.
Plus 40.
Plus 40?
Plus 40.
Missed by 1.
I'm so sorry, Corben.
I'm the only one not hacking the number generator.
Yes, fair. So you haven't used this thing very often, right? And you're kind of a little nervous, and you load up the rock. What does that look like as you kind of swing? Do you just fire it off into nowhere, or do you?
I just fling it off in a random distance, I expect.
So you kind of have this determined look on your face, and you fling that sling stone, and you hear it skittering through the trees off to the right. You're staring right forward, expecting, man, I'm going to hit something, and off the sling stone goes. So that will end your turn, unless I think you got your move. So, still completely enamored at the moment anyway with the helpless prey in front of them. The pustlings don't really do much, except for those that you have engaged, which would be here. So the first thing that you notice is their movement action is to kind of come back together and essentially join forces attacking that guy. Grimwald, sorry. Old man Brand. Yeah. I'm trying to get this. The first is going to actually attempt to bite you. Thanks. I had like 20 minutes worth of shit open before my blue screen. You can oppose that, although it appears as if you...
Does my advantage count for the opposing roll?
It would. absolutely.
I'm going to try dodging.
And you would,
too,
let me see. So you won an opposed roll, so you would actually have 2 advantages at this point, right? Because you got the one from charging in, and you get the one from winning the opposed roll. So that's plus 20.
We tied, success level wise.
Yes. So effectively, I'm going to say that that's a wash. You keep your advantage because you would lose that if you lost the opposed roll. But basically, as you're there, kind of swinging and swatting this thing, you swing your rapier, and one of these things grabs onto the handle and starts climbing up your arm. The other one is kind of holding onto your boot, laughing hysterically as it starts to gnaw at the leather, not realizing initially that it isn't gnawing your flesh. It is fucking up your boot, though. Geschwind.
My scream didn't scare them off.
No. Ah! Oh, that's a shame. So the group of them basically, again, you know, these little things are crawling all around you, and you're sort of doing this tap dance and kicking them, you know, kicking at them and keeping them at bay. One of them stands and puts its hands on its little hips, and just, you see its belly kind of go in, and then as it barfs out this disgusting maggot-infested liquid toward you. However, it does not hit. James, will you give me whatever script it is that's causing you to roll all these critical successes?
No.
Nice.
Reverse it and give it to him.
Yes, so you will get one more round of actions before you are fully noticed by the sort of enthralled puslings that are kind of in this bloodlust here. So we'll come back around, I believe, to Grimwald. What are you going to do?
Fight these things that are trying to eat me, get them off me.
Do it. You would have, let me think about this. You are still not technically outnumbered. You've got plus 20.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go. Back to normal.
Wait, can we? Yeah, that's so bad. Like, okay, I'll take it. Fine. Oh God. So, what in fact do you do? So you're going to get a critical hit here with this fantastic success and gain yet another advantage. Keep that in mind.
Like cut the one on my boot in half and just knock off the one that was like trying to get my just throw it off my sword. The other one.
So yeah, you basically, with that one hanging off of your sword, you kind of just you swat, and the little head just kind of rolls, and still laughing and gargling its own snotty blood. And the other one, you just sort of do this weird flinging thing, and it skitters to the ground. Yeah, so that. Do you say that in some kind of, you know, do you look into the camera and say that?
I'm not that badass yet.
Nice. So there is one left of this bunch, and that is serviceable. I'm sorry, wrong one. Geschwind, what do you do? I'm sorry, wait a minute. We're in initiative order now. I'm so sorry. Oswald, you're up next.
Okay.
So Oswald is going to take the lantern that he just picked up, I think at the farmhouse, out of his bag. He like takes his bag off his back, and he's spending his entire turn in his backpack. He's going to rummage in there, and he's going to attempt to make a bomb, like a sort of like crude Molotov cocktail out of this lantern.
Okay. So you certainly can take the lantern, and you know the base of it is glass, in fact. A bit of a fluted glass, so that shouldn't be a problem. You so what's your plan?
I fill it full of lantern oil, like completely full, like the glass bit where the flame is, and
okay.
I'm gonna make a roll to see how well I do.
Okay, you wanna let's make a cool check just to see. I mean, because this is like a
trade engineer, maybe.
I don't think so, just because you're not really doing anything that's super special. This is kind of the equivalent of you or I just sort of like pouring a bowl of cereal, right? Because you deal with lanterns all the time. Okay. Let's do a cool check just to see that you can do it quickly.
What are you looking for? Like a stat or like a let's see. Again. there's dexterity or like agility or like those are probably the only two.
Yeah, you could use, I believe it's dexterity is the manual dexterity. Agility is more sort of acrobatic-y kind of stuff. So yeah, make a dexterity check and give me cool, and let's see if you get it. So the cool check will represent your being able to get it done this round as you're digging through your shit, right? You're very focused, mind on
This is a plan to get revenge for that one time he was set on fire.
Yeah. No, I haven't even decided where I would throw it yet. I think I'm just wanting to.
It's like right at the back of Geschwind's head.
Ooh, right. -3. Oof.
Okay, go ahead and give me your dexterity roll though. So this is more about timing. So your cool roll was how together and focused are you as you're digging through your bag. I was gonna let you actually get it done this round, but it's gonna be at the beginning. Damn.
Oh, no,
right.
You know what? No, I'm not failing this. I'm not failing this with -4 degrees. I'm not setting myself on fire. I'm gonna re-roll this.
Damn it. All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
The reroll is what got you set on fire last time.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me, James. God. Okay, it's just a failure with 4 degrees, but at least it's not a fumbling failure.
So you get your lantern out, right? You put it on the ground. Your pack is kind of standing up at an awkward angle, and you reach in for the lantern oil and actually kind of do one of these sort of Butterfingers thing and juggle it straight to the ground. It's going to be the remaining action that you have just to kind of pick that up. So your action next round will have to be to sort of carry the rest of the way through.
Gotcha.
But you do actually manage to get your lantern out and at least fling the lantern oil. Fumbling failure was going to be good because I wanted to have you drop it at your feet and catch on fire. That was really fun.
That was not the thing that I wanted.
Bartleby. So you see Oswald stop and drop his pack, start rummaging around as you're kind of running up in the rears. What do you do?
Bartleby will, if I can close the gap to this one group that has one left to try to finish them off, that's what he would do.
Roll on up there and go ahead and make that roll.
Okay. All right. Sorry, looking at my other.
If you roll a critical success too, I swear to God, you guys are kicked out for being cheaters. No t-shirts.
Is that a small enough batch that we outnumber it?
Yes, actually, at this point, I am going to treat these as individuals for those rules because you guys are so big compared to these things. So yes, in fact, by engaging this, you will get the 2-on-1 roll, which will give you what, plus 20, I think. Isn't that right? Yeah. So plus 20.
Plus 20.
Yes, I think that's fair. Yay! Proof that someone hasn't hacked Roll20.
Oh, that sucks.
Okay. Ouch. So you're going to go ahead then. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is called a fumbling failure, which is God. Go ahead and make a roll on the oops table. So there's another D100 roll oops table on page 160. If you guys are following along, 87. That's not. So as you're coming in, you overextend yourself. As you try to kind of swat at this thing that's very low to the ground. Roll your ankle in the process. And you're going to suffer a torn muscle minor injury, which does in fact count as a critical wound.
Ouch.
See what that's all about real quick.
Sorry, this thing wouldn't let me cancel out of the roll. I don't mean to roll that.
Oh,
right.
Just like
Getting Rollmaster flashbacks here.
Yeah, I know, right? So torn muscle minor. So one of your muscles is sprained or torn, resulting in impaired capabilities and much pain. So you're going to suffer a penalty of -10 to all tests involving that location. So if you're running or soccer kicking or whatever, it also is going to half your movement. Just fun fact. So healing, basically, it will heal in time. It'll partially heal in 30 less your toughness bonus days. So you're going to be limping around a little bit here. So you feel that strain and stumble and essentially just kind of sprawl out on the ground next to these creatures who are mostly focused at the moment on Geschwind. So while you're in this state, that takes away your 2 against 1. Corben, what do you do?
How far can I move and attack?
You can move your movement, your base movement. And attack.
The base movement, not the walk.
Hang on a second. Jesus Christ.
You could do a charge and do double, I think.
Yep. And that gives you advantage if you want to go up and get all melee. Although you don't have a melee weapon out. I would like to point that out.
Right. So, but I couldn't get there in a charge anyway.
Yep.
You have another shovel on your back, though.
Oh, I had not thought of that.
And we did demonstrate it's very effective.
Well, yes.
Anyway, so what does Corben do?
Corben is going to close the distance a little more and try another shot at the sling.
Okay. To get a little closer to make things easier now, depending on if you're just kind of trying to fire into that group, the larger group, again, it's going to be plus 40.
Yes, because
I
don't
really
want
care
to risk
who
hitting
you hit.
my friends.
Yes, and you don't really care who among the bad guys you hit as long as you hit a bad guy. If you critically fail, though, you may hit the girl. Just a warning.
Oh, that would be bad.
The thought crosses your mind as you're swinging a thing over your head like a helicopter.
Still plus 40?
Yep. Nice.
Hey, that's better.
And you have 12, so you would now have what, 11, 10 left?
10.
Okay, so you're swinging that over your head as fast as you can. You unleash it, and you do, in fact, hit something in the midst of this swirl of flesh. And you don't know, again, kind of really make out where the stone hits, but you do, in fact, land a blow. Got it. There is a sound for those of you who are closer. You're not in the now. This, more than anything, represents the moment where they all realize that you are here. And effectively, there's this sort of picture the camera slows down and they all just kind of turn. Oh, there's drama going on behind them, still at speed, but this sling stone hits in the midst of them, and there's this cry of pain from this little thing that's got like a mouthful of this girl's kind of leg flesh, and they all just turn, snarl, and they go ape shit. So here's how that plays out. This passel of them.
Damn, are they ahead of me in order?
Shush. They turn and
politely wait for him.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, exactly. They turn and they go, Bob, I think I'm going to go over there. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. So Geschwind, what do you do? Sorry about that.
So I see that Bartleby, unfortunately, kind of took a spill there. So I'm going to move over here and attack the ones that are basically like in his face at this point.
Okay, so
with the shovel,
you're disengaging. You can disengage safely if you spend. So you would have advantage from the last sort of attack that you made. So you can spend that to actually disengage. Otherwise, have to use a dodge to avoid that whole concept of attack of opportunity. Okay. So you can let go of your advantage. It's up to you.
Yeah, maybe I wouldn't disengage then. Never mind. I'm going to swing on these guys again.
Okay. You kind of shift off to the side thinking about it, and you kind of you notice that these things are about to pounce, and so you're going to go back to attacking. Okay.
Think about it, and then I also run through my head, I don't want a golf swing on Bartleby's head either, so as I'm prone to do.
Yep.
For by myself over here. Okay. So let me see if this works. So I have a plus 10.
Yes, you would have plus, let me see, you charged in, so you would have plus 10. You won an opposed test, so you'd have another plus 10 from the advantage, so that's actually going to be plus 20.
Okay, plus 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. Why you guys got to do
Wasn't
me like
critical.
this? Yeah, this is true. Shovel time. I love that so much. So you basically this thing's about to kind of lunge at you. It opens its mouth like it's going to do this sort of pus thing, and it gives you the perfect opportunity. What do you do with that shovel? You've got it up like this. Tell me what that looks like.
Oh, it's just a kind of, I almost smirk as I just feel it in my bones and just ram it through it, like just chopping it in half, essentially. Just right through its jaw.
So from the bottom jaw, right, it's kind of down. It's sort of still standing up, but the top of its head kind of flops off and is kind of jerking around. And its bottom jaw is still kind of quivering and quaking with its tongue still attached, with kind of pus spraying. And it does, in fact, it's going to fall over in a bad state. Those who take the time to notice also kind of just fading into the ground. Fine. Now all hell breaks loose. This guy, this passel, basically you hear, come on, you know, whatever they do, whatever kind of horrific little language they talk in, as they just kind of haul ass and swarm you. Getting movement out of the way to make it easier on me. These are hanging back. Attacking Geschwind. You are now outnumbered. So that'd be plus 20, is that right, James? 2-1.
Yeah.
Fail. So you can give me an opposed roll. Let's see if you win it enough that you actually might cause some damage there. So
Can I oppose that with the shovel?
Yeah, you can, man. You shovel swinging full.
Still a win on the plusling side.
Yep. No, it is.
I wouldn't have advantage, right?
You would
No
actually
longer.
lose advantage. Exactly right. So when you fail an
Yep.
opposed test, you lose your advantage.
Okay.
Yes. So as it comes in, you're kind of tussling with this creature. You swing your shovel. It literally grabs onto the shovel and climbs its way up and clamps down on your right arm, actually doing 3. What's your toughness bonus?
It is 3.
3. So this thing clamps down on your clothes, basically, and just shakes its head back and forth like crazy. You can imagine if its teeth were in your skin, it would shred you to pieces. But unfortunately, for me, it doesn't do any damage to you. Quick. Still in the midst. Come on. Roll 20 is not my friend today. Physical dice would be better for this level of. Give me an opposed as well, please, Geschwind, as you're being attacked.
Okay. So switch between these.
Nice. So the one is up on your arm, right? And you're kind of swinging your arm around, and you notice you've got your shovel in that hand as well, and you notice that there's another one that's just about to pounce, and you actually detect that, and not only do you defend the blow, but you will actually knock it off to the side. Every opposed check does not do damage, does it, James? I don't think it does.
Right. There's a talent that lets you do that
Right
later.
Hopefully never. No, you don't. Please don't. Shut up. So basically, leveraging your shovel with this puzzling kind of hanging off of your arm, you're able to deflect the blow from the other, but it will live to fight another day. At this point, you now, Mr. Grimwald.
I'll take care of the one that's threatening Bartleby.
You're going to get attacked first.
Oh, okay.
You want to give me an opposed? Oh, yes, please. Come,
Yes,
bring
I
it.
do.
If you seriously roll another critical success, you're cheating. This is
I'll be
this is
banned.
the law. Yeah. Your account is banned from the Myth Brigade. Roll 20. Dick. He's just typing like / roll critical success. Yes.
That's amazing.
So basically, tell me how this plays out. So this little kind of collection of these creatures is coming at you. What does that look like from its perspective? It thinks it's got you from behind.
Just a spin and like pommel strike, knocking it aside.
So almost like some kind of like demon possessed ballerina, you spin around. It's like like the Tasmanian devil with a rapier in its hand. You spin around and send these things flying in every possible direction. One more batch is going to attack you, and then it will divert its attention next round to Bartleby. So give me another roll, please. You can't fail, but come on. So again, you fend these things off with your sword. They are swarming all around your feet. You're kind of kicking and swinging your sword. It's chaotic, but you're managing to avoid injury at the moment, which is good.
Don't forget that they get disadvantage. Like they get a negative token, and he gets a bump on them.
Oh,
pretty sure. Because that's how that works. It's like a give and take.
I don't know that that's true. If they don't have
I thought
advantage,
it was like
it's,
the advantage. You get like the negative, because we can get negative ones. I thought.
You either have none or let's defer that. Let's defer that because advantage makes me sad.
Sure.
It's like my weakest spot in combat. All right, so moving on. The rest of these are sort of coming to understand what's going on and surveying the situation. The one thing that you do notice is this group breaks off from the bunch. Perhaps this was one of the ones that the halfling hit, but they kind of break off and start. It's as if they're on a mission, kind of flanking through the trees. Grimwald, it is your initiative. What do you do?
So I'll try and get the one that looks like it's going to get Bartleby.
Okay. Nice. And it will do its best to fend you off, but it will probably fail because you cheat. You in fact hit it. It was successful 6. What's the damage on your rapier? It has some quality.
That'd be 14 total.
So how gross is that? Tell us how gross the death of this creature is.
I just made a kebab of whatever little snotlings were there.
So you kind of draw back and just slide through 2 of them, just right out of the mouth of one into the back of the other, and literally lift it up almost like a pus kebab. Yes, these are mobs, by the way, for those of you who are doing rules monitoring, and we're using the sudden death rules because otherwise we'll be here until we're all dead. So you do in fact scatter this group. Do you choose to move? Do you stay where you are? How does that play out?
Can I move next to Geschwind and engage that one nearest to me?
You can. You talking about this one here?
Yeah, like move to there.
Yes, as long as if your intent is to stay engaged, I'll let it go. But
yeah.
if you were trying, okay, yeah, I think that's all right.
To keep him from being surrounded or outnumbered like that.
Yeah,
or as badly.
Yes. So basically you just kind of swipe across, you kind of fling these things off the end of your blade and go stepping off to the side. Bartleby, you notice your friends step in and literally save your life as these things were about to kind of jump on top of you. Oswald, so you now have your lantern and you have recovered your lantern oil and are sort of, busily filling up that lantern. What do you do when you get it filled?
I'm going to, again, rip off another piece of my toga, stuff it at the top, close the lid, and just flick it on with a flint.
Okay. So you thinking wisely to make sure that you've got some oil on the wick or the piece of your toga. That's going to take too much time. You start to pull at it, and you just think you got to kind of use the wick and just smash that lantern. You get it lit. What are you going to do? You're going to throw it at Grimwald?
No, I think I'm gonna.
I like that you pondered that.
I think I'm gonna throw it like right here. I wonder if it'll ever glow. I think I'm intending to throw it like somewhere like in right here would be fine. So if I have to move up, I'll throw it or do that. Like get up behind Bartleby and like throw it this way. Just
okay.
Even if it's just like into that square right there, just to create some. Maybe not even to hit them, just to create some sort of barrier.
Just to sort of maybe instill some fear, right? Okay, so I'm going to say that you can probably make that throw. So go ahead and give me that roll. The movement between your action and your throwing, so you're going to have to kind of choose between. You're not going to be able to move after you just took the time to light the lantern and all that.
Well, if I just figured that I would have to move to make that throw, but if it's throwable, then I'm just going to throw it.
Is that 20? Yeah, you can, for sure. You can throw 20 feet. Shit, I could.
I don't know about that. Have you seen my rolls?
Yeah.
Oswald's been, ever since I took that Accord, Oswald's been rolling pretty terrible.
Yeah, I'm going to say too, right? So this, unless you're trying to hit a specific creature, this is going to be pretty easy for you. So you're going to get a plus 20.
No, I think what the thing is I'm trying to stave off like all those. I think there's 5 groups there just from like rushing us.
Yep.
Like I think that's what I'm trying to deal with here currently.
Roll.
Let me see. I'm just trying to see what this would fall under as far as which skill. I think it's just like range something.
Is it like range? Yeah. Is there like a base?
Oh, it's range throwing. It actually has a category. So.
Ranged throwing with a specialization in lanterns.
Hey, this is the second time Oswald's done some spooky wuju with whatever, and 51 is his base ballistic skill. So
nice. So you light this lantern up and you make sure to throw it at a nice arc, right, so that it comes down hard. Now, unfortunately, you won't have that when you get in the catacombs, so hopefully somebody's got a torch. But you do actually throw it and lands pretty much right on target, breaking and spraying, kind of lantern oil everywhere. Of course, this isn't the bomb that you'd expected, right? It's not like this massive incendiary, but the fire spreads very quickly. And actually, since you love to draw, it's going to take that square and that square in a sort of a sheet of fire. Not the most hazardous thing in the world, but you do get the desired effects as these little creatures react with seeming loathing for this fire. The heat of it kind of crackling and causing the pus on their little bodies to hiss. Up next is Bartleby. Bartleby, what do you do?
Bartleby, first off, will try to stand up and sort of look. He's got this big wall of fire that's just sprung up in front of him from the lantern bomb, and he's just gonna try to hobble back somewhere safe towards or behind, like around here probably.
Yep. So you
Oswald.
Use your action to stand and kind of hobble off to the side. It's roughly half your movement, right? So you kind of, it's serviceable. You haven't completely wrecked your ankle, but it's literally what it feels like after you just kind of rolled it when you're running, right?
Yeah.
It's incredibly painful, but the adrenaline is helping. So you can still fight in combat, right? But
okay.
Any kind of movement checks or whatever are trumped by that bonus or that penalty.
Yeah, I mean, if it feels well enough that Bartleby was willing to risk a swing, he'll move up and try to assist, try to attack these guys.
Okay. So I'll let you, so you kind of get up and you start to move on it a bit, and you definitely know that you're not going to do well running, and any kind of maneuvers are going to be a pain in the ass, but yeah, you can swing your weapon. So you step in, and that is actually going to be helpful. There's Grimwald, were you engaged with that one? You were, weren't you?
That was where I ended my last turn, yeah.
Okay, so that's going to give you the 2-on-1. Poor Geschwind's up there just getting, he's like, zerged. Coming.
It's all right. We got this.
Doesn't the critical wound give me a -20 to all checks, or is it just all checks involving the leg?
It's involving the leg.
-10 was.
Yeah, and it's -10. Yeah, it's -10.
Oof.
Damn,
Bartleby wins.
Yes, Bartleby wins with a success level of 2. So you kind of step in and hack using your hand axe. So you sort of lean in and you feel the strain in your ankle as you're kind of, leaning in. Because again, these things are short. But tell me, what do you do to this thing? Because if my damage is right, yeah, you have gotten to the sudden death rule. So what does that look like as you lean in, Bartleby?
Yeah, so Bartleby will wince as he puts weight on his ankle to try to step in, and he'll just step in with his hand axe, just brings it straight down on top of one of these creatures' heads.
Nice.
Sort of flicks it away.
So you pop that creature, literally just, and it just sprays pus all over its friends, and they look at each other in that split second, right? Their friend is just cut in half, and this kind of mustard-colored blood spatters them, and they look at each other and just start cracking up. And they will remain, but yeah, it's getting good.
Nurglings, lovely creatures.
Corben, what do you do?
I'm going to keep moving up. All hell's breaking loose over there. Can I still fire into one of these groups, or is the fire obscuring my vision?
No, so again, this is just a lantern, right? It's not like a massive wall of fire. It's just a sheet of flame across the ground, and it's resilient fire because it's oil, right? So it's a danger to those people, but you can see just fine. In fact, probably even a little bit better.
So once the initial flare up happens, it's
yes, sir.
It's pretty low.
Yes. Now, shooting into melee is obviously iffy, but I'm gonna guess that you probably aren't really.
I'm gonna still go for these guys here.
Okay. Give it a roll.
Any changes to the bonus?
No, not yet. I'm gonna say if they disperse much further, yes. Nice. What is the damage? So it's just a straight 6?
Yeah, it's just a straight 6. Plus the success level.
Yeah, so you swing your sling over your head. This time, you knock this one square. Tell me, one of them's gonna die. What does that look like?
It's the stone's gonna plant itself right in his head, and depending on how fragile they are, it either pop his head like a pimple or knock him back into his friends.
So you swing this thing over your head, and it's like literally like picture a chase cam right behind this thing, and it goes right into its eye socket, like, and you see this sort of eye ruptures, and there's a snot, and it just sort of gets really still and falls straight forward, just with the sling stone embedded in its eye socket. And this causes its friends to sort of scatter about. So these ones will not be able to act next round because they've got to sort of reform their thoughts there, come back together. So that concludes the round. Actually, Geschwind, you are poor guy. What do you do?
I'm going to just keep swinging. So I'm going to do it on the one in front of me. So does that count as the 2-on-1 at that point?
No.
Okay.
Because so this one here is no, because Grimwald engaged with that one.
Got it. Okay.
So they're 2-on-1 against you.
Yes.
You lost advantage last round, so it's a straight roll.
Okay.
And we're working on the assumption that just because it's 2-on-1 that it's easier for them to hit you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's harder for you to hit them. We're probably wrong, and I'm sure the chat will tell us. Dr. Pimple Popper. Oh, that's so good. Black Hand Oracle says, Corben, a.k.a. Dr. Pimple Popper. That's awesome. Nice. Give me that roll, please, Geschwind.
Okay, here we go.
Quirked. Poor guy.
We'll see what the critter does.
Yep.
Yes. It is going to. Now they get their plus 20. And they fail. It's a success level of 0. They tie. So basically, Geschwind, you are in a situation where these things are just everywhere. And literally, you're having a sort of tap dance around. Your tussle with them carries you to here. Okay. And they kind of go with you. So basically, they're just kind of swarming around you. And as you're swinging and swatting and whatnot, you're knocking them off. They're not doing any damage, but you do notice that they're pushing you away from your friends. And they seem to be having a fantastic time. I'd just like to point that out.
Just kind of keep batting them away, but they're just really short kind of hits. So
you are absolutely right.
Got it.
So let me get the moves out of the way. So this, and I know this isn't the normal sequence, but it's way easier for this. So these guys up here who've been sort of observing what's going on, make their way to here. They're not quite engaged, but they're kind of starting to fan out and just completely swarm you. These, you notice, are actually seemingly just they went right back to eating. They kind of looked and saw, oh, there's some combat or whatever going on, but they're like, yeah, but there's food here. So they're just shredding this woman. They are not engaged in this combat whatsoever. Then the attacks begin. Geschwind, give me an opposed check, please. 3 on 1's plus 40, James. Is that right? Or is it plus 30?
40.
Damn.
Sorry. No, I'm not. You guys are rolling too well. I'm happy about this. I hope it hurts, Geschwind.
Damn.
Yay.
Plus 4.
You get hurt.
You're entirely too happy about that.
Well, God, dude, it's been like 57 sessions. I can't win a roll. So you're there swinging these things, right, and kicking, and you feel this thing climbing up your back and basically bites into your left shoulder. Your toughness is going to remove some, so it's going to be a total of 8, right? So success level is 4, and damage is 4, plus success level. So you've got 8 less your toughness.
Just 3.
Yep, so you'll take 5. So the feeling, though, is this thing's teeth gnawing into your collarbone and just like shredding at the muscle. You can feel it. You know, you'll be all right if you could get it off of you, but man, is it ever trying to tear you apart while you're standing here. Also, just change your dimensions of your character. I'm sorry. Give me another opposed check, please. Okay, same sort of situation.
Do this math real quick. Okay.
So let me see. That's going to be that guy's got advantage too for next round. Let me keep track of that. Ooh, nice. So you are able to fight that one off. So the trouble is, this one runs up the front of you, and there's a couple of them, kind of gnawing at your legs and your ankles. But one of them just literally runs straight up the front of your torso and is kind of hanging on your belt and biting at your crotch. So one of them is sort of chewing into your collarbone, and one of them is literally trying to, you know, little surgery there. Grimwald, give me, please, your opposed roll. Let me sort out advantage for that too. Did you win?
Yeah, I've won.
I hate you so much. You've got like 900 advantage right now, right? So it's fine. Ooh, that's gonna be hard to beat, or not. So critical success, though, I think is going to trump straight success, though, wouldn't it? Don't you think?
No.
I know what you think. Let's not talk about that. I do think that that's actually the case. I don't need to research that, but I think that a critical success is just one of those things, right?
For the good guys.
From what I recall.
Is once things start looking up for me, and once you guys start taking some actual damage, my computer blue screens because James has hacked my computer.
Yep.
Yeah, so
That'll
we're
teach you to roll well.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Well,
normally
that's-
I don't edit these. Normally I just whatever comes out minute to minute. But we probably have some interesting situations with the recorded video. So just to recap, seconds ago, Grimwald was attacked by one of these pusslings. It rolled a critical success, and Grimwald, though he was defending, is going to receive a critical wound, which is sweet.
My left arm.
Huh? On your
Say
left arm.
goodbye, left arm.
Goodbye,
Yeah.
left arm. It's on page 175. If anybody's looking, I have it pulled up.
D100. I'm going to let you roll your D100 for the critical roll. Let's see what it does to you. I think that's fair.
That's not right. You're making him maim himself.
He's my friend. I don't want him to hold me accountable for whatever may come. You rolled a 9. Is that what I see?
Yeah.
You're a dick. Nothing bad, really. Just
I
some
guess
stuff.
that's good for
No.
him.
So you're going to take 1 wound, and your arm is jarred by the attack. So this this thing comes in and it's hanging off of your arm, and it's basically just kind of swinging itself around everywhere, and it kind of causes your shoulder to be wrenched. And I am so disappointed at that because you could have actually lost your arm.
I got to work to get all that advantage back now.
Yeah, you do. So you have a critter hanging off your arm. You're going to need to solve that problem though. Was it your left arm, or you're not left-handed, right?
Left, yeah.
Was your left?
I'm
Okay, so
right-handed.
yeah, of course you are. All right then. Let's roll it over. So let me see. Those guys attacked. Those of you watching the stream or watching the whatever, I'm sorry, the blue screen from hell has been plaguing us, so we're a little off our game. Let's roll it over. So, Grimwald, what do you do?
Revenge.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, this thing dared attack me.
It's trying to mar your pretty face there, man. It's trying to
Is this
climb up
2
your
on
arm.
1, or just because it's on me, it's just me and him?
I'm gonna say it's no, because again, these are groupings. So yeah, we'll say it's 2 on 1. It's fine. You have one of the 3 that are in that group. I hope it gets a critical success. Oh God, hang on. Open that sheet thanks to my puzzling. There we go.
And
It's
the
good.
reasoning, as I was reading that stuff about that, was the idea that combat is always dangerous, no matter
Yep.
how successful you happen to be doing.
Yes, so it attempts to kind of bite at you as you do in fact do mortal damage to it. So it's hanging. What do you do there? How does that play out?
Just reach up with the sword and like bisect it and get it off my arm.
Yeah, you pull the sword up and you kind of swat it off and slam it to the ground. It's not quite as spectacular as some of the other deaths, you're thinking to yourself, but you do in fact fling it off of you. This has one more loss before it is rendered basically ineffective as an adversary. Who's up next in the initiative? Let me open that up. Oswald, what do you do, man? You've thrown your fire. Wait, Oswald's not there. I'm like, all right, everyone.
State of emergency, guys.
Is it? We need a potty break sign. So let's take a second, if we could, just to reflect on how fucked up tonight has been. That's pretty cool. I'm excited. All right, Oswald, it's your turn. Man. What do you do? So you've thrown your lantern. There's this sort of chaos of melee happening. The halfling is behind you, flinging its shots into the group. 1, 2, 3. What do you do?
And you're on mute.
Oswald's on mute.
Yes.
There, I should have fixed it. I thought I wasn't. Sorry, by the way, I had to step away.
No, it happens, man. I had to blue screen a minute ago. It's totally fine.
Yeah. So I think Oswald is just gonna snatch up his axe, like kick it up into his hands, and he's just gonna charge this group of Nurglings right here. Actually, you think you could defend yourself, Corben? I think I'm gonna go help out my butt.
You don't know. You kind of look between the two, and for one, I'm going to say you after having just thrown that, you may not even be aware that those are there.
Oh yeah, okay. Well then, if I have to roll something to notice they're there, I think Oswald's just kicking up his axe into his hands and charging this group right here.
Nice. So you kick your axe up and just kind of take a couple steps and catch it in midair and head in that direction. So this is actually going to offset now, if you are successful in attacking and engaging here, that'll offset the 2-on-1 for Geschwind, which is probably helpful. Give me that roll.
Yeah. So let me get. Let's see. I'm just trying to figure out my relative modifiers, if there are any.
You get you're going to get an advantage because you charged in.
Okay.
Right, so you use plus 10, and I think that's probably about it for this one.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Alrighty, and here is that. There's a failure.
Yeah, but you actually, you win. So.
Okay.
Yep.
That's 7 damage. I'll look at my profile.
So you kind of come in full bore, and these things are just zerging Geschwind, and you're going to get to take out one of them. Tell me how that plays out. What's it like?
So, he's still hampered by the crit, right? Like the crit.
He who?
So, Geschwind.
Yes.
He's still hampered by the crit, and so I can't affect that right now. But I think the one that's like kind of like nipping at his heels, like maybe the other one climbed up on top of the other one to get at his like arm or whatever. And like I just come in, like run in and just like sideswipe this thing with like the head of the axe, and it just like the one part of it goes flying off into the fungal woods, and then the other part just kind of like tatters on the ground, and it's just like cleaved into.
Yeah, so you kind of come in full speed and just think of like that where it swaps to slow motion and then just spray of creature flies everywhere.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And it's just like the top goes flying off into the canopy above.
Yeah, but it's still laughing the whole way through as it flies through the air. Oswald, let me go back to turn order. What am I missing here? Oswald, so that's your move and your attack. Bartleby, what do you do? So you guys are now turning the tides, it seems, on this group. What do you do? Yes.
Bartleby is, slowly getting his balance back after taking that lunge. He's just going to take another lunge and attempt to kill another one of these creatures.
Give it a shot. Now I'm going to see. The opposition here is at.
And it's 2-on-1 still, right? So it's plus 20.
And the advantage you had from before.
Yep.
Yeah, so you want, it's plus 30. Yep.
Okay.
Wow, nice. Okay. So your damage 3 plus what? 4, 7 plus holy. Okay. So this is really bad. Bartleby, how does it go? What does it look like?
So Bartleby will just sort of focus in, and like his eyes will just narrow, and he'll just take a swing and just chop through right at neck level as many as he can chop through.
It's 2 of them, and the remaining 2, basically just as Grimwald is fended off the one, you come and it's literally just like, and stuff flies everywhere as you send gore and pus and flesh flying. There's still this kind of undertone of laughter that you're uncomfortable with, but you kill it. Do you use your move or no?
Yeah. I'm probably not aware of these guys at all over here, unless I heard them when I was down on the ground.
Who guys? The
ones
guys
that are approaching Corben?
No, definitely not. Too chaotic where you're at. It's all right in front of you, and there's some noise now. The ones over are making a lot of noise around the fire at this point. They're kind of moving around it.
Yeah. So Bartleby will hobble. I'm just gonna move a couple squares.
Yep, and I think your move,
this-
your movement's like half or something. So
Yeah, it's half.
Okay.
So I think 2 squares of movement's probably right.
yeah, that's definitely good. All right, next up is Corben. Corben, what do you do? Give me a perception check, actually. And this is going to be, given all the drama, it's going to be challenging, so no modifier. This is to see if you notice that you're being stalked. First, you'll get a critical success and suddenly become aware of all the secrets of the universe. And yeah.
Almost.
Not critical, but
So Corben, you're there, and you're loading your sling. I'm assuming for the next shot to figure out what your next move is. And out of the corner of your eye, you see these little things, and they're sort of leapfrogging one another, and they're snickering to each other as if they have you. They're coming at you. You see them. There are 4 in that passel. What do
could
you
I
do?
switch to the shovel and charge at them?
You could if you want. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Grab that
Yes.
shovel?
Yes. Hopefully it will. Hopefully they think I'm easy prey and it'll startle them. So yes, I'm gonna grab that shovel and I'm going to charge at them, swinging like crazy.
Yep. So one thing I want to remind you guys of, who last session, who won the reversal? Was that Oswald? It was, wasn't it?
It's Oswald.
Oswald.
Yeah.
Right. So remember, Oswald, you've got that in the bank, man. You got to use it before the session's over or it's gone.
Hey,
so
can I use that on not my roll?
no, it's got to be on your
Oh,
action.
man.
It's got to be on your action. Good try.
Alright, cool.
Good try. Be like just doling out the no, especially if it's fucking Grimwald. He's dead to me right now.
The only reason I even ask is so it's like more of a face thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but not happening. So you switch to the shovel, which I'm guessing you probably didn't just have over your shoulder, right? You probably had it on the ground. So you swipe it up. You're gonna take the time to put your sling away.
No, I'm just gonna drop it.
Just gonna drop it. Okay, you drop it on the
Yes.
ground.
It's the heat of combat. No time to be,
Yep.
neat.
Righto.
I've been forgetting about advantage. Do I get advantage from the sling attacks?
No, so
Okay, so that's just melee, right?
That's just melee. I think
Okay,
that's right.
thought so.
Am I right or am I crazy? I think that's right.
Advantage only counts in like melee combat, I thought.
Let me post
That's
test.
what I thought, but I
I
forgot to ask her.
wouldn't know, so don't like
No, that's
quote
right.
me on that, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's right.
It is. It's right. We're good. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure we're good.
I'm
If
gonna
not, the internet's
charge
gonna let
them-
us know. So yeah, you're gonna charge in. So you got your
I'm going
shovel.
to charge them screaming the mightiest battle cry that a little squeaky halfling can scream.
What do you say?
And-
What are the words that you say?
Oh, it's
Corbin?
just ah! And swinging that shovel crazy.
Okay. So I'm gonna since Geschwind, since you roll shitty sometimes, give me a straight D100 roll. I want to see. This is a cool check for these little things. I just want to see if they critically fail. Only if they critically fail. Okay, no. All right. So you kind of and you go running in. So move yourself in, and they're moving toward you as well. I'm going to say you guys kind of meet right about there. Give me your attack roll as they are just making the similar noise right back at you.
Kind of modifier.
Yes, you will get +1 for the charge in. So +1 advantage, right? So it's +10.
Okay. Aw.
Minus 10.
Damn.
Does the minus 10 because he's a halfling apply to the opposed roll? He's
Minus,
small, so he's harder to hit.
but they're small too.
Okay.
I'm gonna say net 0. This is like a weird, like you would
Yeah.
probably watch this on the old world equivalent of Netflix. You'd be like, "This is so sweet." You come in though, and you eat my shovel, and you swing, but you fail. There was no critical success there, so you're lucky about that. But these things swarm you. They're so fast and they're so chaotic. Ha ha ha, as one of them jumps over you and lands behind you and starts saying something, this guttural language, and you realize suddenly, man, you're surrounded and you're alone. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yes. Geschwind, what do you do? Your friends have arrived.
Let's see. Yeah. Which one is Bartleby engaged with?
So all you know, so it's you don't really have time to gauge what Bartleby's doing so much as the fact that they're there. The one that's kind of directly sort of toward the one here is most engaged with you, is what you know, because it's snarling and biting and kind of that sort of thing.
Yeah, the one near my crotch. I'm gonna try to take out real quick here.
All right, let's have that protect the crotch roll and see how that plays out.
Okay, let's see. No. Okay, I am going to re-roll that. Well,
nope. Let's have a re-roll. Let's do it, because you said it. So you spend your point.
I did.
Spend your point.
Did I not roll? Fuck.
Still, he eked it out.
Yeah, barely.
Yep. So you are absolutely this thing basically as you swing, this thing bursts this stream of this little tiny thing, just this pus spray. You block it with the shovel as you come in, and are actually very successful. Ish. So you're gonna do it's actually kind of negligible damage though, right?
Yeah, the
Breaks bonus
success level would be 1 + 4, 5.
So 7. What? Well, you have 7, so there'd be 2, and then it's toughness. So it's actually going to soak the blow, right? Am I crazy?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so 7 plus. Would it be -1 success level?
Yes. You're gonna reduce the damage by the success level in that case, just representing the failure. Yeah. So, but as you come in, you block this. You hear this sort of like a as the metal reverberates with the pus being sprayed at it, and you kind of give it a little bit of a bonk and get it away from your crotch for the moment. But no, you do not do any significant damage. Do you
that's
use
a success to me.
Yeah. Do you use your move? You have to disengage and spend your advantage. In which case, you would get 1 more advantage as well in this specific situation too. So it's building up.
No, I think I'm gonna stay.
Got it. Okay, so let's stick with you. So give me as this thing basically sprays out its pus. One of them jumps up on the shovel and is going to try to lash out and bite at you. And you're going to want to oppose that, I'm guessing.
Yes. So I have advantage on this as well.
You do have advantage. Yep, you sure do. Damn it. Okay. No critical success there, just a straight success. So this thing kind of jumps up on the shovel and then leaps at you, and you're able to kind of just swing the shovel off to the side and kind of deflect it, but it sort of lands on the ground and very quickly will rebound to attack more. Oswald, as you run up and made an absolute mess out of this buddy, this creature's buddy, it turns to attack you, and it is going to try to spray. You would have advantage from your win, Oswald, as well as your charge still, so you'd be at like +20, I think. Is that right?
Yes.
So give me that opposed roll. Do we lose you, Oswald? Are you still there?
I'm here.
Yeah, no, I need I need an opposed check.
I'm just typing it out right now.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I'm trying to move things along because I'm about to blue screen again. I can feel it coming.
I'm going to. Well, reversing that's not actually going to help me.
No, it wouldn't. It'd make it a little worse, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So I'm going to. Actually, yeah, I'm going to re-roll that.
Okay.
Like with my last point, yeah, I'm going to have to.
Who needs points in the catacombs after all?
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter too much if. Oh wait, I hit the wrong one. There we go. Would have only done 1 point higher, but whatever. Re-roll that, and I'm gonna go. See what I get now. Ooh. Okay, cool.
That's better. That's better.
Yeah. So that is Yeah, that's what I want. Damn, I don't get to use a reversal.
No, sadly, you're not going to deal damage with that, right? As it comes in and just sort of lunges out at you, but you are able to fend it off with your axe and, just kind of flailing around in general. These little things are so chaotic, you're just going to swatting them away as they go. Next up, Bartleby. Let me see who's on you. Good.
Yeah, I just moved up after the attack last turn and sort of assessing what's going on. Bartleby's going to assist Geschwind.
Yep, hang on 1 second.
The creature climb up the shovel and everything.
No, we're still on bad guys. So these guys.
Oh, sorry.
I appreciate that, though.
Yeah. Reinforcements are arriving. So Grimwald, as you kind of finish off that last baddie, you can see in the waning sort of flicker of that lamplight, these little things bounding in from their spot. These guys coming in as well, although just barely. Let's talk about Corben. So Corben, you are being assailed. So why don't you try to protect yourself here?
Yeah,
I think outnumbered. You have advantage as well. Don't forget. I think you have advantage still from last time. Do you not?
I didn't land an attack, so would
did
I?
you? Yeah, but did you win an opposed check? Let's say if you're not sure, then let's say no. I'm not using our handy dandy combat tracker that I advertise online, but I should be. Give me your opposed check with your shovel.
Normal modifier?
Yes. So you will lose this one. And it basically, you're going to spend some points.
Roll some fortune.
Actually, I am going to spend a resilience point. And perform the I will not fail action. Which allows me to choose the number of my roll even if I have failed the test already.
Doesn't that burn that point for...
It does burn that point,
okay.
But I have more than one. I'm going to make that roll 11, which I think would be a critical success.
It sure would. And that allows you to do a little bit of damage there, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
And I hate you. Let's go ahead then. And let's have that D100 roll and see where it is on the poor snotling that you are pussling, which is like a nurgling-ing. It's a mini nurgling. Where's my body sights?
84.
Where's my body sights?
Isn't the body sight just derived from the main roll?
No, not on criticals. So you're actually, and I actually don't like this because in criticals they suggest that you're supposed to roll both of those things separately, and it takes a hell of a lot of time. But since it's 84, it's the left leg on this little tiny guy. And give me your critical roll, please.
Another 100?
Yes. But Jim, I agree with you, and actually that was something that I pointed out in the Rules Bites video for that is like
40.
40, nice, okay. Funny to me. So you swing this shovel, right? This mighty halfling, you kind of bring it up to your side and you swing under, like like a perfect golf swing, up and under. It would launch this thing across the golf course if that's what was going on. You hit its little bitty ankle. And there's this little bitty and it sort of does this weird little cartwheel kind of thing as you sweep underneath it and send it spinning off to the side with a horribly sprained ankle. So that sucks, but that's what you do. And it suffers some wounds as well. So it's off to the side. I'm going to say you have one remaining that you have to conquer before this is no longer a problem for you. So good going, halfling. Well played with the points. I like that.
Thank you.
Let's flip it over. Grimwald, what do you do?
Go up here and engage this group and consolidate. So,
engage the group to the north?
Yeah, the north and the east.
Yeah, well, technically, yes.
Yeah.
gonna mean you're, I don't know, depending on what they decide, it's probably 2 against 1 against you. But what are you gonna? So you're gonna attack the ones to the right or the north?
I'll get that one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Give me a roll. Oh, puzzling. Poor little puzzling. So a fumbling failure. You sure did. You did much better. So you're actually going to cause damage. So your weapon damage less your success level there.
So that'd be 6 total.
What are you using? A bazooka?
It's 4 plus my strength. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what's the impale quality do? Did you figure that out yet?
If I roll a number divisible by 10, it's a crit.
Of course it is. Okay. So no, but so yeah, what you kind of step in. It's like you're new on the scene, right? And these things are kind of closing in off to the right, and there's sort of bristling with confidence. It's like they don't get that their numbers are diminishing. You're going to kill some. You're going to kill 2 of them. Cutting the numbers in half. What does that look like?
Just like skewer one through the top of his head into the ground, and then just a deep cut across the other one.
Nice. So you just kind of like shish kebab from the top down and sort of fling that one off to the side as you swing and cut the other one's throat across the slicing across its neck. So this one is about halfway down as you step in. Oswald, what do you do?
So Oswald, I think he's just going to continue to fight. There's not much other than that. He's already taken out one of these things. He's going to try and like choke up on the axe and just like club the one that's on his dear friend here. But let's see.
Yep, let's. Give me a roll.
Yeah. Yep. And should be coming any second now.
Yep.
Oh, before I forget, I need to put my advantage. Oh, well, there you
Nice.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
All right. Well, let's see. Oh, well, it was a success at least. Poor little guy. Yeah, so that is going to be a critical wound. And what is that? 64. What's my... Right? Am I reading that correctly? My glasses are... That's the body. So, give me your crit roll.
And that's a D100 roll, right?
Yes, it is.
Alrighty, give me 1 second.
Roll something juicy. These poor little things that are just like trying to have a meal. It's like they're just sitting around eating some mac and cheese or something.
Thanks.
Big D players swinging low.
Whoops. That's a.
All right.
That's not what I needed to roll. Hold on. Sorry. So that's a 65. I want to know what 56 and a 65 is. So I assume the 65 is worse though.
Oh, it absolutely is. So
and the damage total for that, if you go off mine, would be 10 with the -1 from him succeeding.
yeah, so you're going to take the 3 wounds from the 3 wounds from the crit. And honestly, it's going to wind up killing this thing. But basically, so you kind of slice this thing across. If in fact it does have a proper circulatory system, most of the important blood vessels, and it just starts to pour this mustardy liquid everywhere.
Oh,
and as it kind of is standing there, you slice
mustardy. Come on.
Yeah, you slice across the one and across the throat of the other. The other looks at its friend, not realizing that looking at its friend has opened its wound further, and it's just as it spits this kind of nasty liquid everywhere. And I do weird headphone dance.
And you knock your headphones in.
I do, yes. It dies. So this is arterial damage, basically, yes. So the one that you sliced across the chest, across the belly, and open it wide, basically kind of looks down and watches as all of its life's essence just kind of pisses away into the nasty fungus laden grass, and it just kind of falls over. The other one will die in good time. Well done. We'll call these guys out. Any move, Oswald, or no?
I think Oswald's going to stay where he is for right now.
Okay. Bartleby.
Okay, so Bartleby, seeing the creature climb onto the shovel and attempt to get at Geschwind, and then seeing the others come in from the north, he's gonna try to assist Geschwind and attack these other hustling.
Do it.
Yeah. One sec. All right. So it's 2-on-1, so plus 20, right?
Yes.
All right.
And accounting for any advantage, did you have advantage last time? Don't forget.
Does advantage go away when you change target?
I don't actually think it does if you're still engaged.
Okay. Cool.
In
So
some combat, same situation. I'm gonna Black Hand Oracle is gonna be like, "Fuck you." Yes, it does. But
Are you kidding me? All right, I'm gonna spend a point and reroll this.
Your rolls make me happy on the inside because your rolls are like my rolls. So good for you.
Yeah. Also a DM.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh
No.
my god. Forget it. Nurgle has called me.
Nurgle has called you. Let's have an oops roll, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
46.
Yep.
I wish we had. Sorry. 46. So. So you step in, and as you swing this hand axe, you're not really paying that close of attention, and your hand is covered in this gnarly sort of viscous pus from all this combat and this death and stuff around you, and you literally sling your axe out of your hand into the fray. So your axe is now lying amongst these folks. You do no damage. You do no damage to yourself, but literally it's this defeating moment where you're just like, and you see your weapon is gone. What do you do? How do you react to that?
Bartleby will just curse.
Missed the opportunity to be like,
Thanks,
Corben,
man.
shovel.
And the shovel just appears in his hand. Thank you, Black Hand. I appreciate it, man.
Yep. And
Good.
then he'll just reach for another weapon that he has. He has a rapier as well.
Got
He
it.
just goes
So
with it.
I will allow you. You said at the beginning, next you'll use your move action to draw that next round.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, Bartleby. Corben. All by himself. Brave Corben.
I am going to try to squish one of these guys with a shovel.
Yep.
Or cut him in half. Either one works for me.
Fair enough. You got it. One more win, man, and they'll disperse. Well, of course, Corben.
Do I have advantage from the last roll?
Yep, you sure would. So at this point, I think it's wow. Okay, eat my shovel. That just makes me happy. All right, let's see how he opposes.
Nice.
Yes, absolutely. So you kind of step in. How do you end this one?
I just bring the shovel down in a overhead swing right on top of him, crush him into the ground.
So you kind of
Pancaked.
yes, you sort of you share a quick glance at one another, and you just sum it up. And you're terrified, Corben. Your hands would be shaking. I mean, shit, man. You cook and you paint, and you just smash the shit out of this.
I'm only doing this so I don't die.
You hear the pop of its backbone, and its backbone protrudes from the sort of rubbery flesh that covers its frame, and it's just this nasty ruined mess of sort of twitching meat by the time you're finished with it. And I'm gonna give you +10 on your next roll for like adrenaline from hell. On your next combat roll, not just any roll. But you flatten this thing, and it's the remaining creature just kind of bounds off into the trees, laughing as if it just watched the best comedy movie ever. Geschwind, what do you do?
I'm gonna continue swinging at this one in front of me that's been trying to go for my crotch. So I have advantage, and we're teamed up. So should be plus 30.
Yes, that's right. And and what?
And
hope for the best.
You just gonna let it ride?
No, I'm gonna spend one.
You're gonna spend it, man. You guys are on the crack here with these.
I want
points.
to make it to the preps.
Use every resource to deny you the joy of hurting us.
Yes, exactly. Plus, I want to keep this. I want to keep this advantage going.
You're punishing me for my repeated blue screens. Oh, that's so much better and also worse for me. So let's see.
I want to keep those advantages rolling.
Strength bonus plus is your strength bonus is 3, 7. Yeah, so you basically skewer the crotch biter. How does that look?
I'd imagine it's just kind of me shoving the shovel into it, kind of impaling it, and then I'm gonna just pitch it back over. So it's fling it away. I don't want this anywhere near me anymore.
It's just got this like hungry death stare, and it's not even looking you in the eye. It's looking right at your junk. Its mouth is wide open. It's slobbering, and you just like, and it goes, and you fling over your shoulder. and if we had a moment to consider it, you'd hear as it lands in the tree somewhere. And then there's a yeah, so that sucks for this bunch. I swear to God, I'm just gonna have Nurgle. He's gonna be like sitting in a living room when you get there. He's just gonna be sitting on a couch and it's be like, you all die. You're done. That's how this works. Any moves? So things are looking up here. Any moves?
No, I want to keep all this advantage.
Yes, you do. Okay. Oswald. So you see basically he kind of stabs this thing in its mouth and flings it right past your face, just so you hear it as it goes off. What do you do?
I think Oswald is just going to close the gap. He's going to just move on to the next target by charging it. Should be this top one.
So you step and just like and almost slip as you step on the corpse of one of these dead puslings, these inferior nurglings, if there is such a thing. Give me that roll. I think the charges, you need a little bit more of a charge to get there, but I'm going to give it to you.
I could probably use my movement to back up and go around,
like
go around
actually
this stuff.
I love that visual of you stepping back and being like, all right, motherfucker, here I come. So yeah, you do that. I'll give you that advantage.
Okay, cool.
I know what's gonna suck is when you guys are all out of fortune points. So Blackhand Oracle is pointing this out. I'm like, damn guys, I'm not giving them back to you between these encounters.
I still have mine.
Because you don't need them because you hacked Roll20, you dirty bastard. You're using normal dice, and I'm gonna hire like a proctor that does the SAT test to hang out at your house. Is what I'm gonna do. All right, so let's see. Yeah, so you step in, and this thing seems to as you come in. Two of them look up at you, wide-eyed, with just kind of slack jaw, and the other one you notice is watching his friend still fly through the air, just like, oh. There are three. You step in and you do damage. What's the situation with your damage?
The damage on that is, if he failed, it's 8 damage.
Jesus. All right. Yep. So you, which one do you kill? Tell me which one. There's 3. You pick one.
The one on the closest to Geschwind.
So you see this, the camera's in on this thing's face as it's like, oh, watching its friend fly, and you just come in and are like, it split its head in half, and it is in fact dead. So that's sad for me again. Who's next? Bartleby.
All right. So yeah, I mean, Bartleby has drawn his rapier, and he looks at it incredulously because he knows that has no training with this weapon. But he's going to try to attack anyways, and sort of like gingerly stab at it with it.
Do we hear?
Really
Do we hear
understanding
like the
concept.
bad to the bone kick in? Like gingerly, he picks it up. He's like, oh. Let's have that roll.
Okay. And the dialogue box won't take the modifier, so there we go. Nope, and that's a fail.
Let's oppose with. Oh, what's a successful comparison there? You actually win that one. So
Yeah.
Yes, you kind of. You come in with your rapier, and this thing kind of turns, notices you, and just starts sort of spraying this filth out of its mouth. This pus that it uses, it seemingly as some kind of almost like breath weapon. Corben can tell you what this stuff tastes like because he got some from the mushroom last episode. But you succeed. Give me that damage. What is that?
It's 5 damage.
Mine is but so it'd be 3, right?
It's 7. It'd be 7 minus 2, so it's 5, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. You did the math. I literally can't read that screen. It's like that's why I'm not looking.
Yeah.
Yes. So you step in and slash at this thing while it's barfing out this sort of mucus everywhere. You're not going to kill it, but you definitely knock it off its feet, and it kind of rolls like a basketball over closer to the. Oops! Shit. Sorry.
Yep.
Standing on the bad guys. But it rolls off to the side, and the other two kind of scatter, moving around. Corben.
So you said I am pumped on adrenaline, yes?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. I am thinking this is going well for me. I am going to charge right up at these guys here and just baseball bat them with the shovel.
Nice.
Okay, good.
Do I still have advantage from the last two?
Same combat.
Okay.
Yes, same combat.
So that would be 20 for the 2 attacks?
Yes.
And you said 10 for the...
And 10 for a charge.
Adrenaline?
Yes.
And 10
for a
so
charge. Yeah, I said it. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. I was trying to be nice, but this is like one of those moments. Dun, tick, dun, 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 tick, dun, dun, dun. Give me that roll.
Oh, not great, but not terrible. At least I hit him.
What I'm going to laugh is when this comes in as a critical success, the oppositional roll here. No. Yes. So, wow. So 5, what's your success? 5, 9, 10. So how does that play out? So there's the 3 of them kind of swirling around. They're actually kind of climbing over corpses at this point, trying to stalk in toward Grimwald.
If they're stalking toward Grimwald, I'm just going to run up behind them, and I'm going to swing the shovel with the flat of the blade toward it and try to knock one of them's head off.
You do just that. Not so much knocking the head off, but there's this satisfying just kind of...
If it stops at a weird angle, I'll be happy too.
And as it flies through the air, you notice that its head, which is sort of shaped about like this, like a little football, is more like this. And there's an eye hanging out of the socket. You just... And there are 2 remaining in that group now. Who is next? Geschwind. That would be you.
I think I've been skipped.
Did I skip you? Oops.
Yeah, I think so.
It's for critting so much.
Yeah, you're being punished.
I understand, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. We're not even friends anymore. I don't even know your name. Let's so we're going to assume that you're just you were taking a moment to soak in your greatness, but you're back to it. So go ahead and take your action. That's fine.
One right next to me.
You're right. There's only one here. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, we tied.
Ooh.
Should
You did.
almost be a bonus for rolling
Is that a 2-on-1?
No. Why would it be 2-on-1?
Oh, there's a Bartleby right there.
There is a Bartleby there. No, Bartleby's fighting this one though. And after it pressed it back. Yeah, he pushed it up after the last attack. So yeah, no. So you basically come up and you were like, "Oh, I'm so handsome and great at everything," and then it's just you're sort of swirling now with these creatures, which the adrenaline's sweeping you up. But you do know that you are still handsome, just in case you've forgotten. Geschwind, it's your turn. What do you do?
Slightly distracted by the handsome attack, but I step up and swing. Just continue to swing. This will be a plus 40 because I have 2 advantages, and
we're picking pus this time. So let's see how this plays out. Wow. All right. Well,
jeez.
That's bad for this poor. So this is to the north, right? Is it what's going? All right. So basically, you're there at this perfect opportune moment, right? As Bartleby pushes them forward, they're kind of scattered and just in a state of disarray. Trying to hit one, you cut one's head in half. What happens to that last one? And make it gross, real gross.
I'm not sure what's grosser than what's already been said. So can I take the head off and basically just hit the head, taking it clean off, and then lodging the head into the other one, kind of like a projectile?
Chokes to death on the head of its friend.
So you swing, knocking the bottom jaw off of the one and breaking its neck, right, with the sort of force of its jaw being torn off. The other one is mid-bite, and the jaw goes down its throat, and it falls on its face, and it's kicking and sort of wriggling as it chokes on its friend's bottom jaw. And then you kill it.
Perfect.
Fair enough. That's gross.
And Tycho, that's what I plan on doing with a shovel.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, that was good. At this point, I'm going to ask, let me see. I'm going to ask Bartleby, give me just a straight D100 roll. I'm cool checking these little fellas. They might want to go tell Dad. Yeah. Yeah. These guys remain. The ones off to the side here. Dude, where did my evil music go? That's what's wrong. All right, that's better. They leave, kind of in a great hurry, barking out some sort of guttural something to these, who all this time had been happily just devouring bits of this woman's flesh, and more so seemingly thriving on her pain and agony. They snap to attention, and these leave the scene this round. Grimwald, give me your opposition to these crotch-eating monsters that are... We're going to do a pus spray this time. Good. Yes, good. Okay.
No.
Okay, good.
I'll use my fortune point and get in on that action.
Okay, fine.
Man, fortune for days.
Yeah.
I'll just go with a regular failure.
That's okay.
And it's still
but
enough.
It's still better than
It
theirs.
is still better. So instinctively, you throw your sort of arm up, pulling your cloak up, and getting this awful sort of stinking pus sprayed. It's like a squirt from a Windex bottle, essentially, but pus all over here. And thinking to yourself that, unlike the halfling, you'll live to fight another day. So that's that one. This group of two, basically bounds over their friends. Now this becomes 2-1 against you. So they're actually going to attack. Go ahead and oppose that one.
That'd be that way.
Ryan, man.
See, I heard it.
So, throwing your hand up, Geschwind, it's almost like slow motion, right? You feel this sort of spray of the pus or whatever the hell this kind of vomitus is that's coming out of these little things. And in that pose, you see this thing bounding toward you, and it's almost like slow motion, and you have perfect reaction. And I hate you. You do in fact do some damage there. And now, does it get cascade straight to a critical wound, or does it just do straight damage?
It's a crit.
Go ahead and roll it. Normally, I don't take pleasure in the PC's pain, but I seriously want Grimwald to get like a horrible scar, so he's got to deal with depression and anxiety and whatever else. 15, so that's going to be its little left arm, and you're going to go ahead and give me the crit roll, please. Let's see what you do to it. 81. That's going to be pretty bad, I think. It is. So according to the manual, an 81 is funny to me. So this little thing's bounding toward you, and just with a flick of your wrist, you amputate 3 of its little fingers. And as it's moving in, it literally just sort of stops and looks at its own hand like the 3D glasses. Remember the 3D glasses in the comic book? Like, oh, it's like, it's spraying these little kind of jets of pus everywhere, and it's going to take some wounds. It's not dead. The other 2 just kind of bound around you, or the other 1. I think there were 2 of those, weren't there? Sorry, there's 3. So there's 2 there. The other 2 kind of just move around you. But that brings it around to your attack, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Then Oswald, then Bartleby.
I'll get the one that's staring at his hand.
You take that moment. I mean, just because of his situation, man. It's gonna be gross, I'm sure, when you get your. Looking up at you and sort of snarling in reaction, and you kill it. Tell me how, please. Please tell me how. Please. You know what? Why don't we let the chat tell us how you kill everything there, Grimwald? No. What do you do? So it's there. It's looking at its hand, and you have just full on. Just what do you do?
Just threw the hand into its face, out the back of its head.
So it's like. And then you pull it out, and you pull your rapier out, and it's still there. And you're almost dissatisfied with that outcome because it's still there for a second, and then it just sort of falls over in this kind of glob, leaving 2 of those. Moving on to Oswald. So what do you do, Oswald? So you see how this is going. There's just the 2 of them kind of bounding around, and there's these guys down here as well. There's basically 4 of these little fuckers, and they're sort of sparse at this point.
I think Oswald is going to take this moment to again do that sort of back step and then choke up on that axe and just with double-handed just bring it down as hard as he can on one of those things.
So you'd be getting a charge here because otherwise you have to charge through Grimwald, and he probably wouldn't appreciate that. Okay, you chalk up advantage. Now keep in mind you'd have advantage from last time, so you're racking it up at this point, I think, right?
Yeah. So at this point, I've got in total a plus 30. So it's almost, well, I don't want to say the word impossible, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Now that I've said that, I'm going to fail and cut,
we'll see.
Brom's head off. We will see.
As you're charging in. Oh, that's what happened. Did you throw the mods in there as well?
No, that's not what the mods in.
Gotta put the mods in there. That's important.
It should be
59, right?
89 versus 106, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Things.
All right, Oswald, make it real bad. Let's get gross with it. It opens its mouth to spray pus, probably trying to get it in your eyes as you're approaching. Just kind of. What do you?
Yeah. So as I'm like running up, Oswald changes it from like a grip where he's holding it like this to like underneath, like he's swinging underneath, and he brings his whole body weight underneath and just like catches it between the groin region and like cuts upward. So like its insides compress upwards as it sprays up, and he's like underneath it. So it just like this waterfall of all of its guts just goes up into the air and falls down.
I think of those water toys that we had as kids, right? But it's spraying all of its fucking guts everywhere. Kids are frolicking.
And the guts go up in the air, and then Oswald takes a step back, and it's almost like a cartoon where it just falls down in like a pile around him, around the Nurgling's feet.
So impressive is this death that the remaining one makes its, unless you're going to chase it, that's up to you. But it's going to actually.
Oswald's not chasing anybody.
it's gonna just GTFO. So. But yeah, it's sprays all over Grimwald. If nothing else, I can ugly him up. So you just
yes. That's the intent. It's just this spray of viscera into the air, and it just covers the pretty boy in dust and disgust.
Did it have the advantage to get away for free?
No, it didn't. You're a dick. You just look. I want this. I want just this one puzzling. I want it to go. I want to build a farm. And raise little other...
On the farm we burnt down.
This is my favorite puzzle.
We already had to get away.
Is that like classic D&D attack of opportunity, or is it? I think it kind of is, isn't it?
I think so.
I don't really think that's a thing here.
There are disengaging rules. It's so gross though, right? Are you gonna? The question is, are you going to pursue that? Are you going to let it run? Because you said you were going to kind of let it go.
I think Oswald's looking to the next nearest threat. Like he's not worried about this thing. He's looking to the nearest threat.
Yeah, there are actually attack of opportunity sort of rules.
It's fleeing, so it's one unopposed melee test at +20.
Oh well, yeah, Oswald. I've still got a thing.
You're gonna take it. Take it.
I'm gonna take it.
Yep. Yeah, so you have the fleeing, and then you have the opportunity to disengage or dodge. It can use its dodge as well. If it has lower or equal to advantage or equal to your advantage, which it does not.
It does not.
Oh shit! Yes, I love it. That's significant. It's like success level plus. Okay, so how does that go? It's running. And you just kind of turn. It's within reach.
No, I think Oswald he does that little thing and it starts and runs off in a different direction. Oswald chokes up as he turns, and just throws the axe and it hits it in the back of the head and it falls over.
You will be unarmed.
I'm fine with that.
Yep. So it takes a couple steps and you sort of you do that. You just and the camera for this purpose is attached to that axe, and it just. And it falls face first with your hand axe, basically kind of. It's not even stuck in its skull because there's not enough of its skull left. That's about where.
Gotcha.
So that
I just like the image of it. I just like the image of it being, thrown and stuck in his head.
Yes, Bartleby. What do you do?
You did.
Bartleby is going to flip down his headset. And then he's going to rear back with his axe and take another wincing step in to try to attack these last remaining puslings.
You do.
Okay. And let's see, rapier. And my bench is up to 40 now.
I do like that to the point where. Okay.
No.
Well.
Ouch.
I mean,
little guy could still do worse.
You'd have to do awful. Oh,
well, then again.
Yes. So they roll at this point, and they leverage their success to basically put some distance in between you guys, and they are really interested in telling Dad right now. In fact, you notice the one just as you're about to swing kind of seems like it hears something, like a call, almost like a. Jason, come home, it's time for dinner sort of thing. Do you pursue?
Are they leaving in the direction of the catacombs, or are they leaving in a different direction?
Nope. They're the direction that you think you're going is northish, and they are headed sort of off to the east, off into the fungus, where you probably just the safety of the fungus is their destination. You let them go.
I mean, I'm gonna try Happy
Bartleby's not
Gilmore.
gonna chase.
You're gonna chase them down. So it you kind of
I'm not gonna let him go.
Yeah,
you're
catch
gonna
'em
just
before
kind
the
of head them
fungus.
off. All right. So you let's see how this plays out. So you Corben, you can move through at this point that fire. The fire is not going to burn for much longer, particularly as moist as the ground is. So what do you do?
I can step in right there too.
You can. It's up to you. The fire
I'm
is
gonna
no longer like a massive blaze by any means. It's just oil burning on the grass, the wet grass.
Yeah, I'm gonna step in right there, and I am going to let him have it.
Okay. The combat halfling.
Think I have-
Who knew?
30 advantage now.
No, do you? I think that's right.
I think that's right. Oh, not so much.
Well, as James says, my monsters are bad at rolls. Oh no. So you basically whiff, and as the others are chasing, so Grimwald, I'm guessing, and Bartleby as well, stepping into that, the halflings just kind of like whoo, and forward. Geschwind.
Okay. Let's see. So I have plus 30 for advantage already.
Plus you're charging them.
And I'm charging, so plus 50.
I'll give you that. I kind of think you're more chasing than charging. I'm going to say plus. I think plus 40. I think is fair, right?
Okay.
You're kind of coming in. The charge is more. You're charging into a fixed sort of, and these guys are just hauling ass.
Yep. And this is the first time Geschwind's ever actually felt capable in combat, so it's almost like a skip type Happy Gilmore thing. Skipping and just going to try to launch these pucks.
Yes.
No.
Okay, I bet it is. How, you're gonna reach into
And there goes my shovel.
Yeah. Are you gonna reach into your endless bank of points to fix that? Or
No,
take
I
the
only
ups?
have one left. I'm gonna save
Give me a D100 roll on the ups table, please. I want to extend the ups table.
We're all going to be moving at halfling speed by the end of this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you pick, but
Oh boy.
you catch a part of your anatomy. We recommend you play this for last, which is why I'm going to make you pick. You're gonna actually take one full wound, ignoring all toughness and armor. So where do you? How does that work? So you're like.
Oh, I know exactly what this is going to be. So basically, I'm overconfident at this point, excited, and when I go to swing, I get the shovel stuck in the ground, and of course, the shovel hilt is right about crotch level, and I just run full speed into that, and I will be on the ground at this
You're
point.
pretty sure there's a popping going. I just like a grape in there. You just and just you pole vault right on the end of the shovel. Yeah, just woo, poof, into the dirt. And the creatures in your chase, I'm going to give. I think Grimwald gets one attack, and then if you fail Grimwald, they will reach the fungus. You're welcome to chase them into the fungus.
No, I'm so.
No,
Don't
really.
go that far.
Chase them into the fungus, pretty boy. Come on.
Wow.
Took every bit of advantage
shit.
to get there.
Oh, yes, it did. Yes, it did. Plus 50, by the way, is a max. It's a table. It's an an optional rule. So we'll do that. Yeah, but you do in fact hit it from behind. What's your body? 50. What's the body site for that? 50. Fine. Hit it in the body. And What's your damage on your weapon, man?
That'd be 8.
So it's running. There is one that actually makes it to the fungus, the small kind of feeble one. This one's looking over its shoulder, looking over. Geschwind's behind it and does his weird pole vault thing. You jump over Geschwind, who's and literally, how does that look when you hit the ground?
Just skewered right through the back.
Just through the back and into the fungus, and causing one of those sort of pus mushrooms to just and leak everywhere. Things get suddenly quiet as these little miserable creatures are either all gone or all dead. Something tells you that to the north, something much worse awaits. Something that they are either called by, have reverence to. But yeah, I think we're over because of our blue screen. So Jem, thanks for hanging a little extra time there. Let's make our rounds real quick. So by the way, thanks again for Black Hand Oracle for rules tips. We're all new to this game. A lot of us are D&D players. Some of us are 12 games, so we mix the rules and confused. Grimwald, how do you feel after this combat? How is he feeling?
He did really well at this.
How does he feel? Is he just like
riding a serious combat high?
Yeah. Dripping from these little entrails and pus and whatever else. How about Corben?
Doesn't even think of that right now.
How about Corben? How's Corben feeling?
Corben's trying to figure out how he became a mighty warrior suddenly.
Yeah.
I mean, we had the last one where he helped Oswald with the spider thing or crab thing, and now this time he's just bashing pus monsters.
So as you're standing there, by the way, Corben, you feel a little bit of a scratch in your throat, and you cough, just kind of out of the blue. It's a raspy cough too, the wet one. We'll talk about that later. Geschwind, how are you feeling, man? You kind of well, let's talk actually. Yeah, how are you?
I went from an incredible best combat euphoria ever to an incredible low, and at this point I'm trying not to openly weep while I'm on the ground.
So you're kind of rolling around as you guys are surveying the scene.
Yep.
Right, there's these dead bodies and there's this kind of weird combat lull, and the only sound you hear is this
whimpering.
Oswald, how are you feeling after this situation? You lost your lantern.
I think Oswald is really kind of getting the gears in his head. They're slowly turning, and he's like, well, we're not going to make it. The gears in his head are just like, yep, we're not making it. We're going to get there, but we're not going to make it. We're going to our deaths.
How about Bartleby?
So Bartleby, is kind of as he's walking over to pick up his lost axe, the adrenaline and the cortisol sort of start to wear off for him, and just this intense pain sets into his leg, and he just kind of grabs his axe and uses it to brace himself and sits down.
Yeah. So you hear, as you sort of flop to the ground, and you kind of the adrenaline starts to wear off, as you said. You hear this sort of whimpering sound.
Mm-hmm.
You glance up to this sort of standing stone, and it would appear as if something has sort of mired this woman as you're kind of watching from across the way, right? She's being consumed slowly. The bits where she's been consumed are black, as if they're starting to rot. She might have been here for a while. And she's just staring at you with these longing eyes, these helpless eyes. What do you guys do?
Continue to whimper.
And you're right there, Geschwind. You don't even notice her, right?
Yeah.
Like she's like right
Kinda
behind you. Like,
corner of my eye, but I'm like, nope, I need to focus.
Yeah, Bartleby's a little too wrapped up in what's going on with his leg to worry about Becky the appetizer.
So what you do
Big
is
odds.
you wait till next session to find out, because we're over time.
Yeah.
Thanks to you guys. Hey, for those of you who tuned in on the stream, I want to thank you for reconnecting. I don't know what was happening with the blue screen. Pretty sure it's James's fault.
Razor's fault.
With his Roll20 hacks. Again, in case we completely fucked up and lost the video, we do have our t-shirts are in. You'll be able to find them on Patreon. If you're super active on the chat or in the comments of YouTube, we may tap you to receive one for free. No dollars. And as always, check us out on YouTube. We have been Myth Brigade, and we'll be back. Because God damn it, I'm gonna murder Grimwald. I swear to God, I don't care what the rest of them. The rest of them can live, but man, are you ever gonna go through like an uglifying? Oh man. Anyway,
All right, guys, I gotta bounce.
Yep, I appreciate you guys playing. I'm
Later,
gonna
Jam.
end the stream right here.